Okay. All right. So this is part 2 of chapter 1. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm new. I don't know how to edit still, so I had to do these all in one take. The other one I was using Streamlabs. I don't know, it got super laggy through the last half of the first chapter. So, and I was going over some important stuff, so I wanted to redo it. It's not that much left. I went over a lot of it, but the last couple pages, they do have a lot of important information that I want you guys to know. So, and then also in the books, he has people writing their, gosh, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm still sick. I'm like kind of out of it. Their experiences. So after, I'm going to read one of the experiences in this chapter. He does like that one experience per chapter, and they're super cool. So, where I was at before, I remember before it started lagging, I was talking about that our inner soma is so light that it floats or it falls, and that's when you know, I think it happens to everybody, when you're falling asleep and you get that feeling like, oh, like you're falling, you know, that's actually your inner soma is falling out through your body. And once, it's still, to me, like I said, it still scares me. But if you can control that fear of that you're falling, just get used to that falling feeling, and know that that is you going to an astral projection out of body experience. So just getting used to that feeling. To me, to this day, I'm still haven't gotten used to it. But that's also not the only way that you can leave. Like I said, you can float up. There's so many ways. You can leave out through your feet. You can leave out different ways. But so I just thought that was really cool because it happens to everybody, that the feeling of falling. So that's like you're already doing it. Your body's already doing it. You don't know it. So anyways, the next part of the chapter where it started glitching was where he's talking about holosoma, the vehicles of our consciousness. So the first one is the soma, the body. The next one's your inner soma, your energetic body. After that, psychosoma, emotional body. Then mental soma, your intellectual body. So here we go. I'm trying to show these pictures again. So that's your soma, our regular body. This is the silver cord that connects us to our inner soma, our energetic body. This one is the golden cord, and that connects us to our mental soma, which is our intellectual body, just our intellectual. So he goes over and explains it right now. The inner soma is the body that surrounds the physical body entirely and extends an inch or two outwards beyond the skin. So I kind of drew it in a little bit where it's like the blue, it's like black around her. Basically, it's your aura. It's what people call the aura. It's like an inch or two outside of your body. That's what he calls the inner soma. The inner soma has two main functions. The first is to vitalize the physical body. The inner soma is responsible for physical activity and vigor. For instance, the good health of the inner soma accounts for our general well-being. We feel more confident and full of life, and our memory and overall mood are at their best. People who do not have a healthy inner soma due to energetic blockages and imbalances suffer from a generalized lack of motivation and often without energy, life fuel to do what they desire. The second function of the inner soma is to link the soma, the physical body, with the body we use during our OBEs, the psychosoma, emotional or astral body. All right. If our inner soma is more flexible, free-flowing, and loose, then disconnecting from the soma with lucidity is easier. On the other hand, if our energies are more rigid and stagnated, this will create an obstacle for us leaving the body. Therefore, the flexibility of our energies or lack thereof is one of the most important factors in terms of leaving the body. We may know and practice several techniques for projecting, but if we do not care for or nurture our inner soma through multiple daily exercises, then leaving the body will be much more difficult, regardless of the projective technique we apply. So that's when he goes into cleansing and clearing your chakras every day, also meditating every day, cleanses your inner soma so that it's clear, so that you're able to actually OBE. with lucidity every day. All right, so that's the inner soma. What's the next one? Next one. Next one is the psychosoma. Psychosoma. And like I said in another video too, even to this day, like I've been reading this book, I still get them confused. I still get the name confused, but it's just important to go over right now because he brings them up a lot. So this is the next one, the psychosoma. That's the one that you're in when you're OBEing astral projection. All right, so the psychosoma. The psychosoma looks identical to the physical one. The second body in which we have the great majority of our projections is called the psychosoma. The psychosoma is the most technical name for this body. Those synonyms have been such used as emotional body, astral body, double, and many more. The psychosoma is very light, and as a result of this, one of the very first sensations we experience as we disconnect from it with the physical body is the lack of weight, which is a very pleasant feeling. Since the psychosoma does not have organs like the physical body does, it does not necessarily feel cold or heat. It does not need to eat, drink, or have any physiological necessities. As a matter of fact, one of the most interesting sensations while projected is a lack of breathing. Note that during projection, when we encounter a friend or relative who has passed away, we see that individual psychosoma. Even though that individual already lost his or her physical body, the psychosoma is able to support itself without any need for the soma, without any need for the body. All right, the mental soma. Go back to the picture to show you. This is our mental soma. This cool thing right there. That's just us. That's just our consciousness. And later on, like he says, after our soma dies, body days, we just have the inner soma, but eventually we don't feel the need for an inner soma, this body anymore, and we just go straight to the mental soma. And that's what a lot of higher consciousness is just that, just the inner soma. All right, let's see. Yep, okay. The fourth body used by the consciousness is called the mental soma. It is the most sophisticated and complex body of the consciousness. While in the mental soma, we enjoy a level of lucidity and clarity that is unattainable in the psychosoma or soma. In other words, in a projection with the mental soma, we are able to reach our highest level of awareness. The mental soma has no defined shape, no limbs, no trunk, nor a head. Mental somatic projections have been widely reported, even though they are much rarer than psychosomatic projections. Several synonyms for this experience is nirvana, samadhi, or satori. The connection between the psychosoma and the mental soma is called the golden cord. All right, so this is the golden cord, like I told you. This is the mental soma, golden cord, inner soma, silver cord, soma, our body. All right. So yeah, those. And then let's see. Okay. Next, he goes over basic state of consciousness. The first state, the intraphysical consciousness, is the condition we are in right now within the physical dimension. Thus, we are in control of all of our four bodies, all of those four. Number two, an extraphysical consciousness no longer has a physical body. Before being born, we were extraphysical consciousnesses. After biological death, we will again return to that state. Extraphysical consciousnesses are in the intermissive period, the phase between lives. Thus, after discarding the physical body, the extraphysical consciousness manifests with either three: inner soma, psychosoma, the bodies, he's saying. Spirit guides are extra physical consciousnesses as well. The third basic state is the projected state. Both intraphysical and extraphysical consciousnesses enjoy the more temporary state of being projected. All right, and then this is when he starts going over, is it dangerous to have an OBE, and people's questions. The first question, you may get lost. Answer, even though sometimes you may not know where you are, you will always be able to come back to the body simply by thinking of it. You may not be able to come back. This fear is spurred by projective catalepsy, sleep paralysis. The specific sensation will be discussed in chapter 3. But that's not true that you will not be able to come back. You automatically come back actually super easy, way easier, especially in the beginning than you want to. It's like really easy. Um, Somebody might come in and cut the silver cord, which would produce a biological death. Nobody can come in and cut your cord. The silver cord is not a weak connection and cannot be cut. Though it is called the silver cord, it is not an actual cord. It is more like a magnetic, energetic connection. If somebody wakes you up while you're projected, the silver cord will be severed. The cord will not be severed by any physical or extra physical activity that happens to bring you back into your body. Even if the stimulus is forceful, like a phone ringing in your ear, a large dog jumping on top of you, or a loud bang close to your bedroom, you will go straight back to your body, but it's not going to kill you. It's just going to wake you up. That's it. While outside the body, somebody else may come into your body, and once you return, you will find your body already in use. Any stimulus, whether intraphysical or extraphysical, will immediately cause the psychosoma to return. So no, anything that's going to mess with you, like the dog or the noise, anything, you're going to be instantly back in your body. Thus, being more explicit, OBEs do not cause people to be possessed or to experience any type of intrusion. While projected, we may encounter individuals who can harm us. Answer. This point will be addressed in detail in Chapter 5, and we will see then as well that these outside-the-body worries are unfounded. Is it dangerous to get close to power lines or get hit by lightning or encounter some other kind of danger? The psychosoma is invulnerable and cannot be destroyed, and we will discover that these situations are not harmful. After a projection, we may feel exhausted. We will also see that in OBE, we are usually not tired. On the contrary, because the physical body is resting during a projection and because of the energies absorbed during the OBE, we are usually much more rested. Therefore, if leaving the body was dangerous, sleeping would be dangerous too. We realize in practice that sleeping is probably the safest activity we perform in our lives. Having a lucid OBE is actually safer than sleeping because while we sleep, we are unconscious, and during a lucid OBE, we are aware. All right, so that was the chapter. That was basically everything that the last video skipped out on. And then I wanted to read this lady's report. I'm sorry, you guys. Another tip that I wanted to say, I forgot in the last video, I was saying to have your journal in the morning to start writing down. But another thing is when you wake up, I know it's hard, like I said, we're all busy. Try to give yourself at least 10 minutes extra in the morning. Make sure you're setting your alarm for 10 minutes extra, okay? So that when you wake up, you're awake. Don't open your eyes. I know this sounds weird, but it's really true. It's weird. Once you open your eyes, I guess everything that you're seeing, and then you start thinking, you start getting distracted, you forget your dream. But when you wake up, you can still have your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed, but stay awake, and then remember your dream. It helps. It's the weirdest little tip, but it really helps. So like even this morning, I woke up, right? I remembered my dream. I got up, I went to the restroom, and I was like, oh man, I forgot my dream. I go back, lay down, close my eyes, and then your dream comes right back. It's the weirdest thing. But so wake up, just keep your eyes closed, then remember your dream. Then once you got your dream in your head, okay, I remember it. Then wake up and then write down those few sentences. So trust me, see that. Try that out next time. When you wake up, just close your eyes and remember your dream, okay? Because most of the time we just hop up, and start getting our day ready, getting our coffee, getting dressed, brushing our teeth, but just give yourself a few minutes. All right. So I'm going to read this. Assisted projection, Silviana Miura, 2006. Saturday, January 28, 2006. Corte Madera, California. After waking up to go to the bathroom, I returned to bed and lay down, placing a pillow underneath my knees, uncomfortably extending my arms alongside my body, hands resting on my thighs. I immediately felt relaxed and externalized energy for about 20 minutes or so. So she's working on her energy for 20 minutes while laying down. Shifting to the closed circuit of energy technique, which we'll go into later. I felt the energies flowing from my head to my feet and back. I concentrated on leaving the physical body and repeated to myself, I'm going to leave my body. My physical body needs to sleep, but I don't. In a state of feeling half awake and half asleep, a dreamlike scene of distractions. I heard a gentle and very calm female voice asking me in my native language, Voice Get Saeed, do you want to take off? I did not have time to answer because I felt I was being grabbed by my pair arms and pulled up, bringing me to a seated position. With the upper part of my psychosoma, astral body, separated from my physical body, I could see my pair arms stretched toward the ceiling, whilst the pair of legs remained with my physical legs. Aware of my situation, I could not see the helper, but I knew she was there. Looking to the ceiling, I tried to take off, telling myself to go up, but my position did not change. Instead, what happened was the elongation of my pair arms. As I noticed that my effort was not sufficient to lift off, my psychosoma was brought back to the horizontal position, where I was then lying on my physical body, listening to its heavy breathing, sometimes feeling it and sometimes not, as if my extra physical head was bouncing in and out of my physical head. I firmly intended to go up again, and in slow motion my psychosoma went up, stopping only 2 inches from the ceiling. I looked at the details on the surface of the ceiling, which I had never before seen so closely. I was getting distracted and losing lucidity when a clear message directed me to get away from my physical body so I would not return to it. I started to move, first looking at the ceiling, then turning my head and seeing the chandelier. I noticed that my extra physical bedroom was bigger than it is physically. I need a target. As soon as this thought occurred to me, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to see Elle, one of those friends in the dreamlike scene perceived earlier. Adopting Elle as her friend. Adopting a vertical position, I went out into the open, flying for what felt like a minute, stopping at what seemed to be my destination. I saw my friend Elle, and a woman was with him. I could not identify her, but they were seated at a table facing each other. From where I could see her back and her hair caught my attention. My friend was wearing a light blue shirt, and he did not have his beard, which he'd had the last time I saw him. Something pulled me back, and shortly I was back in my physical body. I did not recall my flight back. It did not feel like I woke up because I never lost consciousness during the process. The memory of what happened was vivid in my mind. I did not move for a couple minutes, going through the details of my experience. I moved to the side to check the time. The clock marked 6:50 a.m. I took note of it and wrote 12:50 p.m. next to it, the time in Brazil. It was still dark. I turned on the lights, got my notebook from my nightstand, and sat in bed to write down my experience. After getting my friend's new contact information that weekend, I wrote to him, telling him that I had him as my target and what I'd seen when I got to him. He confirmed that at the time he was at his home with his partner. He was wearing a light blue shirt and did not have a beard any longer. He also mentioned that by my description of the scene, he could tell my angle of perception and that everything about my experience could be validated. I thank the extra physical helper for this opportunity. So that was her experience. In this experience, it goes over a lot of stuff, but I just thought it was really cool. And the experiences in here from different people, they're amazing, and that's what I'm going to start doing, is reading them after every chapter. But let's see. So she says, she has her little notebook, and then also when she woke up to keep her eyes closed for a little bit. And then it also says that they do, we OBE on our own, but also our helpers are always there too. And they help you leave if you need to, because you get stuck sometimes. It's kind of hard. Like, I don't want to say hard, but it just takes practice, but they're there to help you. Another thing that was in here, and it says later in the book, but I'll tell you right now. Once you start getting to OBEing, and like, it's really exciting once you're like, oh my gosh, I'm out of my body. So the excitement does send you back. But a tip that he does say is that if you can get out of your room fast enough, then it's easier for you to leave. I don't know why. I guess we just get distracted. But if you can get out of your room, oh no, he says, I'm sorry. I'm like remembering the book. He says when you can get farther away from your body, then it's easier for you to leave. I guess it's not like so easy for you to go back because you're a little bit farther. I don't know, but So that's just a tip. If you can, get out of your room, pretty fast. But that all takes time later on. And then in the book too, it says that, she saw her friend, he was wearing this blue shirt, and that he didn't have a beard. And she, hadn't seen him in the real life. The last time she saw him in real life, he had a beard. So then she talked to him the next day, and everything she was saying, that he was like, yes, I was wearing my blue shirt. Yes, I was with Elle. And yeah, I don't have a beard anymore. So anyways, yeah, that's the end of part 2 of chapter 1. And chapter 2 is when I'm going to be going over the energetic exercises, so that you can start working on every day to cleanse your aura and to get ready to OB. So yeah, number 2 is when the cool stuff goes in. I just really had to go over the information in chapter 1 because he uses these words and it's just a foundation. So anyways, yeah, love you guys. Bye.